Hey, everybody. Welcome to Open the Gates. I'm your host, Matt Burke, and today we're going to be having on Donald DeLay. He's going to be talking about Brutus the Badass 2. So if you guys could give a warm welcome to Donald. What's up, brother? How
Hey,
you doing?
not much, man. Just hanging out.
For sure, man. Yeah, me too. I'm just doing some drawing, sketching it up, getting ready for the ham. Actually, I'm making a ham this year. I haven't done one in a while, and
Oh,
I don't know.
nice.
I My grandma was a butcher, and she always had the best recipes. And for her, it was Verner's ginger ale and brown sugar. But they don't. I can't find Verner's ginger ale anymore, and so I had to use the. I'm having to use the Canada Dry. So it is what it is. I'm gonna make it happen. You know what I mean? How's everything going with you?
I can't complain, Got a crowdfunder going on, doing pretty decent.
Hell
Everything's
yeah, man.
nice.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, shoot, man. I know about your work, and I've been following you on Twitter and whatnot for the past few years. But maybe there's some cats out there that aren't familiar with you. Maybe you can tell them a little bit about yourself.
I'm a cartoonist based in Tampa. Worked on Cash Grab, Dracula, Brutus Book 1. Currently Brutus Book 2, just funding on Indiegogo. And I like long walks on the beach.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Actually,
Yeah,
I don't like long walks on the beach. I like staying at home. I fucking hate the beach.
yeah, me too. I hate the beach as well, and I live in
Sorry.
California. I can't
Is
stand
it,
it.
is it alright to curse?
Yeah, say whatever you want.
Cool, because I curse like a sailor sometimes.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm really bad at it. So if I'm on a show with you and it's getting really like obnoxious, I just can't help it. I do it when I get really excited though. Sometimes I'm just like, So I try to catch myself. But
Yeah, right? It's worse when I'm in front of my kids and I'm doing it.
yeah, me too. And I'm like, oh, I feel like the dad on a Christmas story.
Yeah, don't say that.
That's what I thought you said. Get in the car. Um, so who were some of your influences, bro?
Oh man, there's so many.
Right?
Sam Keith, Frank
Oh,
Miller, Mike
yeah.
Mignola,
Me too. Me too.
Simon Bisley,
Me
Daniel
too.
Warren Johnson, James Herron,
Oh yeah. James Herron. I love.
Jason
Oh, sorry.
Jason Pearson.
Don't know who that is, but all the other ones I
Oh,
do.
you gotta check out Jason Pearson, man. You'll love his work. Body bags, that's right up your alley.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now you got me intrigued. I'm gonna have to check that out right after the stream. And then Heron, I loved his work on Rumble. Do you remember that Rumble book he was doing?
Oh yeah, I got the what was it? 3 volumes, 4 volumes that he did. Three
And
volumes.
and then was it Rubin? Was it David Rubin jumped on that guy from Spain, I think? But
I
I
can't
love
remember. I just call him Not Heron.
right now Heron.
Yeah, I
Um,
jumped off that series as soon as James Heron left.
he did another one. I love that series too. And he did another one too. A newer one called like Ultra Omega, I think, or something like that.
Ultra Mega, yeah.
I've
It's
been
like
hearing
some
good things.
Ultraman type shit. It's dope.
I watched me and I go on a show with Brian Kreisgau, the Six Gun creator, Six
Hmm.
Gun Gorilla creator. We do it on Tuesdays. We're going to be doing it tonight. We do movies that are not behind a paywall, and then people come on and we'll talk shit about the movie or whatnot. But we're doing the what was it the War of the Gargantuans or something like that.
Hmm.
Never watched it. I watched that last night, but it was like it's like kaiju, like the two Bigfoots fighting in Japan, and it was fun to watch. I like seeing like big sets of big people, like big monsters. Well, you like that stuff too.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I got a book I'm doing that's got kaiju in it.
Hell yeah, man. And then Sam Keith, you like Sam Keith too, huh? That you like the Max or what?
The Max, I like his all of his stuff
Hell
on
big.
Marvel Comics Presents. Some of his other stuff like Zero Girl. I completely stole the little phone cord tassel things that he
Oh
does,
yeah.
rip clothing.
Yeah.
Completely stole that from him.
Don't you love that, man? Like you see an artist that does something a certain way, and you're just like, dude, I gotta do that, right? Like I like
Yeah.
these hands, and um, I don't know, I like just different things. You know what I mean? Like even his phrase, he has some cool phrase, like Gene phrase, like for
Hmm.
what's her name on the mat? I love the Max. Like I was drawing that in ninth grade all the time. You
Hmm.
couldn't stop me from drawing the Max.
Yeah, he's got a lot of cool trademarks that he does. And when you're doing them, people automatically pick them out as, oh, that's from Sam Keith.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's cool, man. Um, yeah, and also, I was an Image kid, so I grew up in the '90s, and I love the Image books, and also Mad
mm,
Magazine and Cracked
right.
and stuff like that. Those were all really fun. I was gonna say, man, what's your favorite metal band?
Favorite metal band? Oh man, can I say Metallica?
Sure, hell yeah.
that's that's not too mainstream.
Nah. It is mainstream, but it's fucking Metallica, man. They're like
Yeah,
one of the forefathers, in my opinion. You know what I
the
mean?
early stuff though, pre load of shit.
Yeah. Everyone says load. You know what I mean? Like preload. You know, I kind of liked some of the stuff on load because at that point it like for me they were speed metal. They were when they came out. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And then they kind of went into like heavy metal with like the Black Album, I guess, and then it
Hmm.
kind of turned into alternative metal with like load and reload, and then after that it's just kind of been just different shit. You know?
Yeah, everything after load is not my favorite.
Right?
But that Black Album that hits the spot.
That's a really good like for me. That's heavy metal. You know, like that's a straight up heavy metal album. I mean, they're not really fast songs, but they're hard hitting classics. You know, rock and roll
The
even.
stuff I'm rocking out to right now is the guy Leo from Frog Leap Studios.
Sounds familiar, but
I can't pronounce his last name. It's like Leo Manicelli or something like that.
sounds familiar.
I think he's from Norway. But
Okay.
if you look up Frog Leap
Oh,
Studios,
I
he
do
does a lot
now.
of covers, a lot of metal
Now I know who
covers.
you're talking about. Yeah, that guy's badass. He's one dude. He
Yeah.
does like Slipknot and everybody. Yeah, dude, that fool's a badass. Yeah, I've checked him out. My neighbor told me about him. Um, yeah, that one's fun to get lost in. Um, I have the Brutus the Badass book 2 campaign up right here. If you want, I can share it, or if you like, if you want to, I can share your screen. If you want to go through it, it's up to you, brother.
You share it. I don't have anything ready yet.
Okay, I got you. Sweet man. So you getting ready? You getting to do anything crazy for Thanksgiving?
Not much. We're just gonna cook up this 25-pound bird that we got,
Sweet.
and
Yeah, I
it's
got a
all
free
for
bird.
me,
All right. What are you, a breast man or a thigh man?
breast man.
Yeah. You know what I like to do? I like to I'll cook a turkey every 8 years or so. What I like to do is I like to get the breast, and I like to get some nice butter and like dill and just stuff it right under or just butter and garlic, sorry, and stuff that right under the skin. I call it stuffing the bra. And then I'll get the bacon. I'll lay that right on top of the breast, and I'll stick it right in the oven. Then I'll inject the thighs with like Zatarain's was it Louisiana seasoning right in there.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean packed with flavor. Then the wife sometimes she'll get a bag. You know those bags, those turkey bags. You put that right over the top. So
Keeps some
right here,
flavor.
oh dude, it's killer, bro. So right here we got Brutus the Badass book 2. Is it okay if we show the trailer?
Yeah, hit
Sweet,
it.
sweet. Okay. Oh, I screwed up. Let me go back one more time. Sorry about that, dude. I don't think I shared the audio.
I'm gonna mute myself while it plays, so my kids aren't screaming in the background like they are now.
Okie dokie. Let me share this right here. Boom. Brutus the Badass. Here we go.
Your favorite intergalactic bounty hunter and his trusty robot sidekick are back in action, and you won't want to miss their brand new adventure. Brutus the Badass, Book 2, by best-selling novelist Nasser Rabat and indie comics darling Donald DeLay. The boys are back.
Hello, lover boy.
It's bigger, it's better, it's badass. With a brand new director's cut of Book 1. The creative team of 2018 has buried the hatchet and turned it up to 11 for 2022. And don't miss the limited edition replica of Brutus's iconic belt buckle in classic chrome finish or premium gold. Brutus the Badass, Book 2, only from Secret Comics.
That's awesome, man.
Perfect
Who did the
timing,
voice?
My kids screaming.
I was gonna say, man, who did the voiceover for that?
Someone that Nasser knows, a guy named Roy.
I thought maybe you might have done it, dude. I was like,
No,
is that
no,
him
no.
doing that? Oh, okay. Yeah, it kind of sounds like you a little bit. No, it sounds good, dude. Sounds great. Got
Yeah, I
me
like the way
pumped
that
up.
trailer came out.
Yeah, it's looks like so much fun, man. Do you mind telling us a little bit about Brutus, like about the world of Brutus? You know?
Brutus is a bounty hunter who has no memory of his past whatsoever. He just woke up in a chamber one day and decided to go become a bounty hunter and a murderer at the same time. and he runs around with a sidekick named Gideon, who's a robot that thinks he's human, getting in all kinds of crazy adventures.
Oh, that's cool, man. That sounds like fun.
And yeah, Brutus 2 is about the galaxy elites are kidnapping some of the most badass people in the universe, and they kidnapped the wrong one this time.
Oh, snap. Yeah, that's cool, man. You know what I like about this book? I'm sure you've heard it a million times, but it really reminds me of Lobo, man.
Yeah,
With the rock and roll feel,
that's how it started out. Actually, people were telling me, come up with your own Lobo, come up with your own Wolverine. So I drew this character that I had in another story. Drew him with a jacket and kind of loboed him up a little bit, and boom, there he was. But he's got a new design now, as you can see right there.
Got a bigger belt buckle, or
A little bit bigger belt buckle, but he's got, instead of having a vest with no sleeves.
oh yeah.
Yeah, he's more greasered out. Instead of being more, last book he was a little bit more Lobo. This book he's more greaser.
Yeah, that's cool. He's got some chucks, got the big belt buckle. I ain't gonna lie, when there was a time period that was like everyone used to rock big belt buckles, dude. I mean, it was just the time in like I think in the early aughts. I used to have a bunch of buckles. I had one that was like that size one time.
Oh damn!
It was fucking big. It was back when I was playing metal. Speaking of belt buckles, you guys have actual like belt buckles in here that you can get a gold and a, yeah, man.
Gold and a silver one, based on my design. Yeah, they came out pretty sweet.
Yeah, they look so cool. I was telling my wife about this. I was like, man, me ended up being in belt buckles and whatnot. I was like, that's really cool, dude. And it's got the TCB on there.
Gotta get one.
Yeah, dude. I do want one. I ain't gonna lie. And I like the little box it comes in. That's really sweet, dude.
It comes in a mailer that's similar to the box that it comes in too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, and I wouldn't even want to open it.
That's
so
why
cool.
you gotta get two.
Who are these badasses right here?
That is Delilah and Eric. They're
Okay.
sort of enemies of Brutus, but they're also on his side. Like in book 1, she sends him to the prison that he breaks out of.
Ooh.
And in this book, she's kidnapped alongside with him, so they have to form up an alliance.
Was it? I think I saw a review of this online back in the day, and I was just looking like, oh, I can't wait to read that. And but I try not to watch too much of it because I'd see you on Twitter sometimes, like, hey, dude, you gonna make another one? Like, yeah, it's coming, don't worry. And yeah, I didn't want to spoil it too much. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You got a little backbreaker action right there, huh?
Yeah, it's a little panel throwback to I can't
Nightfall?
remember what. Yeah, Nightfall.
Bane. Oh yeah.
That was escaping me right there. But yeah, it's I think it's a Kelly Jones cover.
Oh yeah, I love me some Kelly Jones too. I love those covers, I liked Azrael too. I thought he was a cool character, cool design.
Yeah.
Got some preview pages up right here too.
Yeah, we just put up a couple of lettered pages.
That's good, man. Like, it gives people like a taste of what's really going to be in the book. What they're going to expect, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I did that on my book too. I added some pages with word balloons, so people can read it and be like, oh, that looks cool, or
yeah, it's
whatnot.
good to have. I mean, there's some campaigns out there that don't really have any kind of images going up.
Oh yeah,
They have production art.
I love I love your art in general and how you have different styles.
Thank you.
You're a art like I know a few people in life that are artistic chameleons. There's a guy named Juanito. He's in the he's in 656 creative team, or I'm sorry, Comics Way, and he does a bunch of different styles. And I used to have a buddy named Miguel that I know outside of like all the YouTube and CG and indie scene. He could do different styles. He's like, oh, you want to see a Mignola? You want to see a Todd McFarlane? He could do it. And I just think it's amazing how you could shift from this to, like, let's say from Stoker's Dracula, and it looks, totally different, bro. And,
yeah, it's hard to do, man, because you gotta. It's the basic thing about it is it's all just shape language, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but it can be hard to do. You gotta get your mind wrapped around that style. You gotta play around with it for a little bit till you get used to it.
Yeah, and then you have to remember certain things like how they draw hands and feet and certain artists do. You know, like Capullo does that little line on the nose, right?
You gotta remember what kind of details you're putting in and what kind of details you're not putting in.
Yeah,
It's all about that shape language and
that's
details.
that's brilliant too, man, for you to know and remember that. With this right here, he's hitting him in the gut. He called it the golden fist of fury. I never get to fully execute it in class. It's a guy. His skeleton flies right out of his body. Oh my god, that's metal, dude. That's so metal. Oh, I'm loving this book, man, already. I can't wait to back it. I guess we could go over some of the tiers right now.
Cool.
Let's see here. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. You got the basic book. You got the basic book tier. You got 2-pack tier. You got the digital tier, and you got belt buckle tiers, and then you have the feature tier, which is one of everything.
I think that's like the best one. Like, you can't really beat that with like that awesome belt buckle, even if you weren't gonna like rock it, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get the belt buckle plus books 1 and 2.
And he's like an easy cosplay, dude. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You might have to do some curls though to get them forearms up, but anybody could kind of rock the belt buckle and
You can
pull
always
it
do
off.
fat Brutus.
Hey, you know what I mean? Anybody could do it.
The trick
know
would
what
be
I mean?
getting the hair just right.
That's the hard part, You got it's kind of, yeah, man. I don't think I've ever seen hair like that. The only thing closest to it would be kind of like Egon from Ghostbusters, but still, it's still not even anything like it,
It's out there. It's called an elephant trunk pompadour. You can.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's an actual hairstyle. If you look it up, you'll see different versions of it.
Yeah.
But this is the one that I chose. It kind of looked like a wind tunnel.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. I think you were showing like the Chris Tucker one on Fifth Element, but that one wasn't tunneled
that's
out.
the same thing. It's an elephant trunk pompadour.
That's cool, man. That's a TCB, or that's the one of everything. You get the 1 and 2 digital. You get Brutus Book 2. Everyone that was the one, and then you have the director's cut. That's something I wanted to know a little bit about. Is that something you could talk about a little bit?
Yeah, it's basically a reworking of the dialogue, adding more stuff to it.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I like that. I like that director's cut take. That's
So
cool, man.
For people that have the original book, this will give them something new, and people that don't have it, this will give them the whole book
Sweet, man.
with a little extra.
Hell yeah. Yeah, man. This book looks awesome. I love all the action that's going on in here. I love how you draw action, bro. It's just so kinetic.
Thank you. Try to have fun with it,
Yeah, man. So kinetic. It's alive. Everything's moving. Just action packed. It really just makes you want to pick up and start drawing. Pick up a pencil and start throwing down some lines. You got a little bit of an anime influence at all? Whatsoever?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely got an anime and manga influence too.
I remember you were talking about that. Daniel Warren Johnson. He's pretty badass, man. I like that guy.
He's one of my influences.
I got his Murder Falcon. That book was badass.
Yeah, that book is so dope. That's when I really started pushing more of the manga influence on my work.
It's a lot of action. It's action packed and just very inspirational. And I like the way he draws with whiteout. Like he's just totally like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's a deep ass story too.
Deep. Oh yeah. It's a deep story, dude. So for anybody that hasn't backed Brutus the Badass, come back it right now. These guys it's already up to like 6K almost, and it's only been up for like 10 days. So for me, you guys are killing it as far as I'm concerned. Like I think you already hit the 101 mark. So, that's the thing,
Yeah, I'm happy. I mean, we're doing pretty good on it. I didn't expect to have the same success that we had with Brutus 1 because of the unfortunate lateness of the fulfillment, which was completely my fault. But we're doing pretty good.
Jake Dollar Sign. Yeah, that shit happens though, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What up, Corey? It's all just like learning how to do the stuff and figuring it out. You know what I mean? And you're OG like CG, man, and a lot of that was trying to figure out a formula that works now.
Yeah,
and,
there was a lot to learn.
And there's it's just a lot of stuff, man. And now the book, if people want it, they can get it, and they can get the second one. Yeah, that's cool, man. I was gonna say, what's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie of all time?
Yep.
Oh gosh, probably Kill Bill.
Which one? Or you consider them
Both.
both one movie? Okay.
I consider them both one movie, even though technically, they're two different genre types. Playing with the genre types, I consider them both one movie. Yeah.
They're pretty solid, man. I like the Tarantino movies.
Hell
Was it
yeah.
Brian? Brian he don't like Tarantino. He's like hack Tarantino, but I'm like, hey, fuck. I love I love them Tarantino movies. I like the dialogue. They're fun. They're entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I really like From Dusk Till Dawn, man. I know that's kind of like not 100. Like he's just he didn't really have anything to do with but acting. I think he produced it though.
I
My
think he
understanding.
wrote it.
Oh, okay, so there you go. And I don't even remember that. And I know that was supposed to be a Tales from the Crypt movie, but
Was it?
yeah, and it just didn't work out. So they ended up using it for to make
That's
its
cool.
own standalone. Yeah, and I think they used and then they picked Demon Knight instead. Demon Knight was alright, but it wasn't From Dusk Till Dawn. You know what I
Oh
mean?
God, no! They picked the wrong one for that.
Right? They and it would have been, to be honest, it would have been better to have that all that stuff at the top, like Tales from the Crypt, Quentin, Rob Rodriguez, all that. It would have just been kind of cool to be part of the catalog.
Mm-hmm.
I never watched Kill Bill. Oh, well, you're missing out, dude. You got to watch it. I like that one a little, the first one the most. I love the action scene at the end. Like, I'm really into action movies, fight scenes and stuff like that. But the second one for me is kind of like a Western in some ways. That one's pretty cool. She just kind of, it's still a revenge flick too.
Yeah, that's what I was meaning when I said it's two different. It's kind of feels like two different genre types. One is the first one is a kung fu movie. Second one is a spaghetti western.
Oh hell yeah, I love me some spaghetti westerns. Hell, comic book one.
Hell, comic book one.
So you got Brutus. How many pages you got to do on that? Is it already finished or?
It is completely done. We're working on the lettering right now. Excuse me. Nasser's finishing up the script, just tweaking some of the dialogue, but we're putting the lettering up. But it's completely drawn and colored.
Wow. So
Ready to go.
You guys are ready. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing fulfillment as quickly as possible after the 60 days.
That turns into like a whole nother job, right? Like when
Oh
you're
my
starting
gosh, yes.
it's like you can't really do anything else. You got to turn off. I mean, you might be able to sneak away and doodle a little bit, but you're full on like fulfillment mode. You know what I mean? And you just got to kind of. It's just like, oh man.
You gotta switch your brain over and just shut everything else down. You're working on fulfillment now. You're packaging books. You're stuffing bags and boards. It takes 100% of your time for as long as it takes to get the books out.
Yeah, man. It's like a change of the hats, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
So right now you're working on. If people don't know, you're also working on a book called Jaegerbomb. You think you might be able to give us a little scoop on that, a little behind the scenes action?
Yeah, Jaegerbomb is probably going to be my next book unless no cover comes up. But that's what I'm working on right now. It's gonna be 108 pages. It's about a boy named Jake who gets this ability to turn into a super luchador in order to fight the kaiju that have been destroying his city. But he has to overcome his fear in order to fight these monsters.
That sounds fun, man. I've seen some of the imagery you've been putting up on Twitter. I'm really, really digging it, man. Lots of energy. The action's fucking badass.
Yeah, we're really about to get into the action here soon. There's a little bit of action in the beginning of the book, but I'm about to get into the meat of it.
Do you know about El Santo?
No.
He was like this famous. I believe that's his name. Don't hate me if I got it wrong, guys. But he was like this Mexican wrestler superstar, and he has movies out there. He wrestle. He would have movies where he's fighting monsters and all kinds of crazy stuff. You should check him out for inspiration, for fun.
Yeah, look him up.
Yeah, dude, it's dope. And I went down to Mexico, and I was my wife. She's from there, and we were gonna go down there and watch some luchador matches. It's all fun, and wrestling's very similar to like a comic book character coming to life. You know what I mean? You got villains, you got heroes, you got heels, you got boots. And
especially luchador, it's crazy.
It's totally crazy, dude. And it leaves the ring. Like, you carry them. You got to wear the mask all the time. And once you're demasked, you're like, that's they cut your balls off, bro. It's like it's like
Right?
you're demoted. They usurped you.
Like they just spit on your whole family.
Yeah, and it's like that's like a fun like trope to even write. You know what I mean? Like like a character like that. So I'm always fascinated with the luchador. Did you ever watch like WWE back in the '90s? Probably.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Who was your favorite wrestlers?
Let's see, there's Shawn Michael and the D-Generation X guys. I like them a lot. The Rock, obviously. I'm a big mark for Dwayne Johnson.
Sweet. Yeah, I like The Rock. He's entertaining. He was funny back then. He was really good with the shit talk. Like pretty, like comic book was saying, never break the kayfabe.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was entertaining too. My favorites were Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, and then Kane and Undertaker were like my top two. But Kane,
man, you're going early '90s.
I really like Kane though, man. He was like a real like comic book character. He was like, to me, he was kind of like Doctor Doom. And there's a lot too, like Roddy Piper. He was badass. I loved him in John Carpenter's They Live. I don't know if you've seen that. It's got the longest fight scene ever
Hell
in
yeah.
any movie. Okay.
Is that the trash can, the alley fight?
Yeah, he fights.
Really? That's the longest fight scene in any movie?
As far as I know, I'm sure it's different now, but I think it held a record for one point. I was on a stream with someone the other day, and we were talking about wrestlers, and how certain wrestlers, like when you were a kid, you really hated the bad guys. You know what I mean? And man, like looking back, like those bad guys were awesome. They made the show fun because they were so like they're evil, and you have the hero coming through, and I don't know, man, that's really cool. But back then it's like, fuck this guy. you want him to go down, you know what I mean?
Right. And now you go back to it and you're like, man, the Iron Sheik was pretty awesome.
Right. Yeah. And I don't know. I like that movie, The Wrestler. That movie was pretty cool too. Just kind of seeing the behind the scenes stuff,
Yeah, that was a badass movie.
I never really I don't know. I like seeing like the wrestler stuff, even like in comic books. Like we were talking about behind the scenes a little bit about like tropes. You know what I mean? Like Superman's got a cape. I think there's like a wrestling comic book genre now. Like was it a Simon Bisley or no? It was Rob Zombie and Steve Niles, and Bisley did the covers, but it was a book called The Nail. And that one was about this. I got the graphic novel, but it's about this underground wrestler. You know what I mean? And he has to, I guess, fight to pay for his, to provide for his family. And he's on like one of his, I don't know, last fights or something. And they're about to go camping in this Winnebago, and they're followed by these demon bikers, and all hell breaks loose. And
that's cool.
I don't know. There's just something about like wrestlers in comics that sounds cool. He was going to make a movie about it too. I think DDP was going to be in it, but it never. And the movie was called Tyrannosaurus Rex, but it never got made. Lots of indie. Let's see here. Lots of indie wrestling comics books these days. Yeah, to me it's like a subgenre. You know what I mean?
Have you been reading Do a Powerbomb?
No, dude. I've been watching. I haven't been to the LCS for a minute, but there's a couple books that I want to, and I got one right around the corner. That's one of the books I wanted to get. Also, we were talking about Ultra Omega by Heron. I want to get that book. I just got the Ronin books. I was going for my favorite is Walt Simonson's Ragnarok. That's my favorite book out, but he's kind of taking a break for a little bit, but he says he's going to work on it again. But
I need to pick that up. His art looks great.
It's dope, dude. It's like a big influence on me. I love he's one of those energy guys. You know what I mean? He's energy and symmetry and balance, and like you're an energy guy. You know what I mean? And you're a page turner, so is he. We're just like, I don't know. You guys are really good at that. That book, yeah, it's awesome. It's his take on Thor and what if Ragnarok happened and what if the 9 realms merged into one realm. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but Thor wakes up, he's a zombie Thor, and he's trying to figure out everything, and there's all kinds of stuff going on. People he's got to save, and gods he's trying to look for, and yeah, it's a badass book.
That sounds awesome as fuck.
Yeah, dude. It's I was trying to get a shirt of it, if I can. Like I'm a t-shirt and jeans guy, and I'm always looking for cool like t-shirts if I could get them, and I think someone in the chat was saying we need more Brutus merch. I think it'd be cool to have a Brutus shirt. I'd rock one of those.
I had one for a little bit on Crypto Fashion. Ended up
Oh,
taking
really?
that down. Yeah, I ended up taking that down because I was just trying to come up with more merchandise and more merchandise for the website, but it was just interfering with the art, so I just kind of pulled it down.
That makes sense. Well, you could always make another one someday, you know.
Yeah, I just got to balance my time with it.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. Like there's like even like the new cover, like that on a shirt would look cool. The old I like the old covers. I think Kelsey colored the OG one, right?
Yeah, he did the original cover. He's trying to color it like a Bisley cover,
Yeah, it definitely felt like that.
so it had that sort of painterly feel to it. It's still one of my favorite things.
Yeah, it's awesome, dude. And then I think didn't Rob Willis do an alternate cover or something like that?
Yeah, he did a alternate cover to book one.
That one's
And that was
badass.
badass.
I like the new one that you got too. Like I was saying, that one looked cool on a shirt. Also, like talking about different genres and comics and stuff. You're also working on another book called what is it, Johnny B. Bad, right?
The Ballad of Johnny B. Bad is
Okay.
the full title. I just
That's
call it
awesome.
Johnny B. Bad for short. But yeah, it's about a rocker who has to go to hell to retrieve the love of his life because there's something precious there.
Oh man, that's cool. Yeah, I can't wait for that one. That one's
Full of rock and roll and action,
yeah, man. That one's gonna be
demon fighting.
yeah, I love that. And he's got the guitar axe. I love that. Yeah, like I was saying, for me that's like a genre right there, like rock and roll and metal in comics. You know, the character's got to have his Superman cape, and for that it could be like the axe. You know, the guitar axe. I love that shit. I got that with my new character too. So you're talking about you like The Rock. Do you see Black Adam?
Not yet. I want to. It's coming out on digital tomorrow, I think. And yeah, the 23rd, and I'm going to be watching it on my 70-inch screen TV. I wanted to go to the theaters to see it,
Me too.
but I decided I didn't want to go sit in some sticky chair.
Yeah, right.
I got a nice entertainment system at home. I can watch it at home. 70-inch screen TV. Just turn out the lights, move the couch forward a little bit so it feels like I'm sitting, mid-level in a movie theater.
Oh yeah, for sure. Some nice popcorn.
Yeah.
I just started watching the Tulsa King with Stallone. That one's pretty fun.
Oh yeah, that good?
I mean, I like it so far. You know what I mean? I like Stallone though. So I'm kind of a Stallone stan. So, I'm liking so far what I see. I think it's from the writers or something or showrunner of Sopranos. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just he's a mafia dude that's been in jail and he just got out after like 17 years and they're making him go to to set up shop in Tulsa. That's pretty much it. And all. What do you think in the modern times? You know what I mean? He's just coming into the world like, the way things are, post 2015, kind of adjusting to that, talking
It's like a
about
serious version of what was it? I think was it My Blue Heaven with Steve Martin.
Yeah, that one's funny. I remember that. Steve Martin's hilarious, man. I always remember the barber and not the barber, the dentist in Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh yeah, you'll be a dentist.
He's got the like motorcycle. Yeah.
Right.
Is it he saw Black Adam. The Rock was great. Almost everything else was shite. Okay.
Well, you kind of expect that in a rock movie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess they're gonna be trying to streamline their DC movies a little bit more. Like the universe, they're trying to make it more like old school Marvel. Hopefully, one Batman now or something like that, one or two. I don't know. But
Yeah, they tried doing that whole storyline bullshit and building it up, but they started way too. They just kind of like rushed it, man.
Yeah, totally.
So now they're going back to square one.
I don't know. I'm kind of a fan of like having like one shared universe because I don't know, man. It's just too many universes to tango. It's just like, fuck, what happens here? You got the Joker verse, you got the Snyder verse, you got the Reeves verse. I don't know. There's a lot. You got the Tim Burton verse now that they're jumping back into.
I'm cool if those all connect. One thing I don't want to connect though is the Lobo movie that's rumored to be in the works.
So I mean, I seen a couple videos pop up on that last week, but I forgot to check them out. I mean, because Lobo, he's like one of my favorite DC characters. Probably, I mean, right after Batman. Batman's will always be my favorite, but Lobo is definitely right after. Um, what are they saying about that? About the Lobo movie?
That Jason Momoa is gonna be playing Lobo.
Really?
Yeah, it's rumored. It's not like in production or anything like that. It's a rumor floating around. But you know how the rumor was when they were talking about him as Aquaman, he was denying it. This one he's not fully denying. He's saying that he's got, all the comics. That's one character and you can figure out who that character is, and everybody's saying that it's Lobo.
Everybody knows he was destined to, like, he's perfect for that role.
Yeah,
you know,
I'd even overlook the facial hair for him to play Lobo.
Oh yeah, totally, yeah, and like he could do that and Aquaman. It doesn't matter; they look totally different. You know what I mean? Like he could do both movies, which I'd be down with. You know, you give him those big old blood red. I mean, imagine those big old blood red eyes, dude. You don't even see characters like that, like him doing that. And I mean, there's different versions of Lobo too. You know, like the first one looked like Gene Simmons and was it Gene Simmons and Richard Simmons put together. He had that spandex suit and the fucking hair.
Oh,
you know what I'm
man.
talking?
Yeah, don't remind me. Don't remind
Right?
me.
Horrible. And then Bisley came in and fucked it up and made it, awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
they
love
came
that.
And they twisted it up with Bisley, Grant, and Giffen, my boy Giffen.
Oh yeah, man. I love those books. I got the what is it? Portrait of a Bastich, I think that's what it is. Or something like that. It's a graphic novel. I try to. Whenever I go to like an LCS, I go right to the old 50-cent bins. I look for Lobo books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he would be good. I think it'd be kind of cool if they give him the big like Dragon Ball Z hair. Like the one that he started just for fun. Like we haven't seen a character like that.
Right.
It's easy to give him the dreadlocks or the long hair. You know what I mean? But just to give him like that, like whoa, dude, like he would look even scarier. Like imagine that big old dude painted up, yeah, that would be that'd be pretty crazy, dude.
I'm hoping that happens. Although I know it won't happen the way I want it to happen, because I would want Michael Bay to direct that movie. Because if there's ever a movie that man is made to direct, it's a Lobo movie.
Right? That'd be pretty awesome, man. I like some of his movies. They're pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
I like The Rock. I liked Con Air. I like that first Transformers movie. Like even that first scene when the one, like I forget all their names. I'm horrible with names, but the one that just gets up on the transforms on the Marine base, in the very beginning of the movie, it's all in shadow. Kind of sets up the tone a little bit. I think that first one was really good. I mean, I'll watch all the Transformers movies. I haven't seen Bumblebee, but they're all kind of fun. I like big budget, like adventure action movies, like big popcorn tentpole movies. I just like to go to the theater and watch them. I haven't done it in a long time, but like I was doing it. I used to do it all the time. I'd go watch Transformers, the comic movies. Like, but now I'm not really digging the what Marvel and DC are putting out too much, to be honest with you.
Right.
So I'm not, excuse me, leaving the movie theater, leaving to go see it, But yeah, even horror movies, man. I would go to see a horror movie every week just for fun. I like going to the movies. You're a fully digital artist. Is that correct?
Yep. I'll do a commission here and there with the in physical, but it's got to be requested. But yeah, I'm 100% digital otherwise.
So for you, is it why do you pick digital over traditional?
Just the speed of it. Excuse me. It's made me a lot faster, and it's less costly, I would say, as
Really?
well. Buying paper and all the equipment, to buying ink, buying nibs. It was a cost-saving measure at first, and then it just ended up being something that just made me a lot faster.
And when you do your art, do you like zoom in and zoom in and zoom in a lot, or no?
No, I have preset zooms. It goes from slightly smaller than print size to print size, and those are to help.
Right.
Those are to help me, see the whole picture of how it's going to look when it's in printed form. And then I have 11 by 17.
Oh man.
I have a percentage set so that I'm working basically at 11 by 17, which was a lot of fun. I took an actual sheet of paper and held it up to my tablet till I got those dimensions right. And then I have slightly bigger than 11 by 17, which would be, like the equivalent of getting really close to the paper in order to do some finer details. And then I go 100%, which is really close for the final details, but that's as far as I go. They're all presets. I don't go any deeper than that or any further back than that.
That's brilliant, man. I think that really helps too, and it keeps not only the story but the artwork and the energy and focus. You know what I mean? For the storytelling. When you do like your layouts and your thumbnails, do you do that on paper at all, or is that strictly digital too?
That's digital too. I do just get a big blank canvas, try to do as many as I can on one sheet, one quote unquote sheet.
Right. Yeah, I do the same thing too, man, but just on paper. I'm just asking you these things because like I'm intrigued by the way of creating comics digital. You're a professional. I consider you pro level, like top of the cream of the crop. Me, I'm like a newbie. I got into it later on in life, but I'm still trying to learn how to do stuff. And digital just seems kind of awesome too. I mean, I'm really into traditional, but what I like about digital is life's pretty short, man. And I have a lot of stories I want to tell. And I think if I figure out a way to do digital, I might be able to maybe one day get in there and tell some more stories, you know?
If nothing else, just penciling digital will speed up somebody, and then you print it out on a blue line, and in blue line on a piece of bristle board to ink. Because you go in there and instead of having to erase a hand and redraw it in order to get it to the right size, you just do a lasso tool around it, reshape it, get it to that right size, quick, boom, you're done.
Right, and then you don't have to clean up the page with like the eraser. Like I'm using these Moo erasers all the time, and you always have to put a paper down. You don't have to do all that. Sometimes you got to go back and redraw the whole drawing. You know what I mean? And that kind of goes back to like Daniel Warren Johnson a little bit. Like that dude uses a lot of whiteout. You know what I mean? I like that a lot for effects, and also if you want to go back and you got to fix something, you could do that. Boom. I've been doing that a lot lately. Yeah, man, digital's cool. There was comic book has a really good suggestion. I don't know if you read it. Donald, do a variant cover of Brutus 2 on a board and sell the original on the campaign.
That's a good idea.
I think it's brilliant, bro. I mean, even if you did a cover, a trading card, original art, like those two, like sell them on a campaign for however much you want, like it's original art. Then that's another thing too. I was talking to the wife about doing digital. Like if I do digital, like again, I love original art, but it has to be something that's really special, you know? And for me, I think if you're doing maybe a cover, a back cover, and then maybe like a trading card for like maybe the villain of the book or the a version, like a different costume of your character or something like that. You know what I mean? Just because art is rare. Walter Simonson doesn't even sell his OG art, because he's full OG, but he don't even sell it. He just keeps it for his kids,
Dang.
But there's always a reasoning, like again, if you do digital, you're gonna be able to tell more stories and you're gonna have a lot more work out there. I think personally. In our day and age, and if you do traditional, you'll have some art to sell, but it's like for me, I'm always questioning and looking for different techniques and finding the balance because I got a lot of stories I want to tell, and you only live once, brother. You only live once,
Yeah, I think for someone like you, for your situation, a hybrid style of penciling digitally and then printing it out on blue line.
I've seen that. I have the printer. I have the printer for it too. I seen Jimmy Reyes. He was the guy I was watching. I even bought the same exact printer he did before he joined up with CG, and he was doing that, and I thought, I don't know, I just think that's really cool. But definitely back to Brutus, man. I think if you did a cover, like a variant, did that, and you could sell it on the campaign, like, I don't know, I think that would be cool.
Yeah, I'll have to talk to Nasser about that. See if we can do that.
Waiting for cash grab too. I can't wait to see that one. I love the artwork you did in there. I know he's got the proofs in. Those should be coming around the mountain pretty soon. So that should be pretty fun.
Yeah, I can't wait to get my copy of that. I'm still very proud of that work in there.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. When you were like, stupid question, I'm gonna ask you. When you were doing it, were you like busting up when you're like throwing down these panels at all?
Oh, definitely. That script was hilarious, man. Every time something came in and I would read it, I was laughing my ass off, and then I'd have to be like, "Oh, I gotta draw this too. This is gonna be fun." Oh
yeah, man! So much energy, man.
Then I tried to add little things here and there to make it even more fun.
So then there's another book that you did, and it was Bloodbone. Are you going to be doing the full version of that book too?
No, I just did the ash can for that.
Okay.
There's 12 pages, I believe. Yeah, 12 pages. But that came out great. That's some of my favorite work too.
So did you design that character? Was it you and Ace that did that, or Edwin? Or,
No, he had someone else design it, and he sent me the character sketch for it.
because that character is badass, dude.
Oh
I
yeah,
love. I haven't gotten the book yet, but I mean, I really want it. And I want the T-shirt again, like the T-shirts, like this, and I get to rock like the stuff I like in real life. Well, what's that? Oh, it's a comic book. You can go and check it out here. I don't mind repping what I like. You know what I mean? If it's a band I like, if it's a comic book I like, if it's a creator I like, I don't mind. I like the
right.
T-shirt stuff, you dude. You got a favorite beer, bro?
No, I've never actually tried beer, except for I've had Guinness and a Guinness stew, but don't really think you can count that. I'm more of a whiskey guy.
Oh yeah, me too. So I always ask people like when they come on like what their favorite beer is. Sometimes people are like, "Hey, dude, I like fucking rum." So I'm like, "That's cool too," because I don't just drink beer. I drink rum and whiskey, and I'll try like a little bit of whatever as far as the spirits go. What's your favorite whiskey, bro?
It's this I can't. I'd have to go get the bottle, but it came in like a mason jar sort of thing. I got it in Tennessee.
Nice.
It's a salted caramel whiskey.
Oh wow,
I
that
can't
sounds.
remember who made it, but it was distilled at the same at this distillery where the guy was forging knives, and it was pretty badass.
Oh really? Oh wow, that's cool, man. The whole like blacksmithing, My grandfather-in-law does that. He makes all kinds of weapons. Yeah,
That's some badass shit, though.
I like
Being
I
able to do
like.
that.
Oh, I know, man. Just hitting up the. You ever see that movie? That movie, Mandy,
No,
with Nicolas Cage. Are you a Nicolas Cage fan?
here and there. I like
Like
Con Air.
Con Air's dope. Like the whole thing with him. He owed taxes and whatnot. And he'll do any movie or whatever just to stay working. But every now and then he gets these gems in there, like these solid movies where it's like, okay, I like what you're putting out there. Like for me, I think he's almost like a modern like Peter Cushing or Christopher Lee. Like he does these not now he is. He's doing these weird like horror movies that are really dope. Like he did this H.P. Lovecraft movie called Color Out of Space. Really good. It's a body horror. It's kind of like The Thing. Highly recommend it. But side quest back to the main topic. He did this movie called Mandy, and that one's directed by Panos Cosmatos. He's like the son of, or he is the son of the famous. His father Cosmatos did Rambo 2 and also Tombstone. He directed those movies.
Cool.
And Mandy, he something happens to his girlfriend. He has to get revenge. He has to fight these demon bikers that are like doing all these crazy types of like demonic drugs. Takes place in like the Pacific Northwest or in the 70s. He's a lumberjack, but he makes this big old like axe weapon, dude. He forges it himself, and it's kind of like this whole like Conan the Barbarian scene. If you can check out the trailer, it's I don't know, man. I highly recommend that movie, and the weapon he makes in there is totally badass.
What was
And
it
he
called?
does Mandy,
Mandy.
Mand, and it's free on Tubi. It's a long movie, but I think it's really good. Like I really like these really like I like these new like directors that are there's a couple like visionaries. I like Eggers, the guy that did The Witch and the Norseman. The Northman. Like that one a lot. Cosmatos is good, and there's this guy named Zoller. He did Bone Tomahawk, Dragged Across Concrete, and Brawl with Cell Block, Brawl in Cell Block 99 by Vince Vaughn. That one's I highly recommend that one. That movie is action packed, dude. Oh, have you seen Brawl in Cell Block 99?
No.
Dude, you gotta watch that movie, bro. Like if that's the one movie you gotta watch that movie. I don't even like Vince Vaughn. So like in that movie, he gets out of jail and he's like, he's like a dude from the South and he's got a big head. He finds out his lady's cheating on him, and it's just the first like 10 minutes of the movie or 5 minutes just beating the shit out of a car at work, just destroying a car, right? Just beating it up.
Damn.
And then he gets fired, and then he decides, you know what, I'm gonna start dealing drugs again, and he he gets into he does a deal with the cartel, and like they're doing it over like a boat where they like have to pick the package up over water, and he's telling them, all right, you guys shoot the cops, the deal's off, we don't kill cops. And so they ended up shooting the cops, and so he ended up shooting them, and then they got him. He ends up going to prison, and the cartel finds out about it, and they take his kid, they take his wife hostage, and then they tell him, hey, if you don't want us to basically kill your wife, you have to assassinate all these different dudes in these different prisons. And yeah, it's totally like a Tarantino style, dude, like that
Cool.
kind of grindhousey, like somewhat in a way. It's really highly recommended, and the action in there is brutal. See right here, comic book. Mandy is excellent. Watch Color Out of Space. Mandy it's a horror, like psychedelic revenge flick, and he had a strong influence on heavy metal album covers. The director, when he was doing it, it took him 10 years to make the movie, and he had a more like barbarian-esque, like Conan type Momoa in mind for the role. I'm not saying he wanted Momoa, but it was probably someone big like that, you know. But he went with Nicolas Cage because he did it's, you know. And in that movie, he goes full Cage, like you've never seen him. Like, you know, he goes nuts. He goes the craziest he's ever gone. So,
I'm sorry, it sounds like fucking jungle in here.
oh, it sounds like that at my house too. Oh, you know what I mean? I got
kids whooping and wallering around like monkeys.
That's how my kids are too, man. You know, that's what being a dad's all about, bro. You know,
Yeah.
They're only gonna be that way once. You know.
True.
Ooh. Well, shoot, man. Is there anything else you'd like to say about Brutus or any the other cool stuff you're working on?
I got No Cover. Let's talk about No Cover a little bit. Working on
yeah.
that with Sierra Whiskey. It's about John Malin's search in a post-apocalyptic world for his Dale Keown cover.
Right.
He's got to go on this quest in order to find it. Coming up with some crazy shit for it.
Yeah, I'm digging that, man. I seen that online on Twitter. Twitter's been fun lately ever since Elon took over. I seen it. He opens it up and it's from Dale. It's like a message from Dale, right? And he's got the Dale's artwork in there, I believe, from the pit.
And he gets his tracking number. It's what's online is 2 pages. It starts off with he getting this tracking number, so he goes and he finds the package because it hasn't been delivered. He opens the package. It's a Dale cover to Mandy with another letter and another tracking number.
Oh,
sending
man.
him off on another quest.
Yeah, people are gonna buy that. That's gonna be a fun book, man. It already looks hilarious, you know. And I don't know, man. That's like, for me, that falls in the same genre as like Cash Grab. You know what I mean? It's got like the CG lore, and then you're the visionary that puts it together. You know what I mean? Like that's, I don't know. It goes in there. I love that stuff. So yeah, I'm really digging what you're putting out with that. What you're doing with the Ballad of Johnny B. Bad, with the Jaeger Bomb. All your books look great. I can't wait to back Brutus 1 and 2. I am going to back those ASAP. And I wanted to know, man, what program do you use for your digital process of creating these works of art?
I use Clip Studio Paint EX.
Okay. And as far as, because you do coloring too, you use that too?
Yeah, I use coloring and everything, lettering. I'll do it all in Clip Studio.
Oh, okay. And is that like a monthly subscription? Because I have Photoshop and I use it like maybe once a month, and I'm just like paying for it, so it's like kind of like sucky, you know.
When I got it, it was a one-time fee.
Okay.
But now they're switching over to a monthly subscription, which kind of sucks because if you get the upgrade, then you have to pay the monthly fee. So I'm stuck with whatever version I have now.
Yeah, that sucks, man. It's always like changing and rebooting all the time, you know. And you hear everything from different creators, dude. It's like, oh, I only use like colorists. I only use Photoshop, or I only use Clip Studio, you know. Donald, what about the Guardian? What about the Guardian, Donald?
Well, that's a book that's not going to be happening anymore.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, I actually merged that concept into Jaeger Bomb.
Sweet. Yeah, that's me and my buddy. I think we talked about this on Twitter sometimes. Oh, and I gotta say, don't get mad, but you probably expected this. Pineapple on pizza with pepperoni, or it has to be pineapple, ham, and jalapenos. If you don't have the jalapenos, it upsets the balance. Gotta have
this interview's over.
No. But that's how I do it. I even do jalapenos with pepperoni.
I'm
But
sorry for your taste buds.
yeah, right. Hawaiiana. Comic book. Are you going to change from Clip Studio when they start charging a month? No, when he's gonna rock the OG one, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with the one that I have instead of upgrading because it's once you get the upgrade, you have to start paying the subscription for it. As long as you don't get the upgrade, then you continue with the one that you have. But probably early next year, I'm gonna be getting an iPad once I get my kids' iPads paid off. And sorry, my boy's peeking around the corner at me. And
That is
once I switch to the iPad, I'm just gonna be Procreate exclusive on there.
Procreate, huh?
Yeah,
And
I
that's the
messed
same
around
one.
with it a little bit, but I needed a little more real estate to work on.
So you're gonna switch over to iPad then, huh?
Yeah.
How much are those things running right now? Like a G or so?
Um, last one I got was $900 something, almost a thousand, but it was the 11.5. I want to get the 12.9, which I think is 1200.
And do you burn through like styluses pretty quick, or how's that for you?
No, actually, I haven't. I got this I got the stylus with this canvas, a Hawaiian canvas, and it's still got a pretty good tip on it.
Damn. And do you switch the tips around, the nibs too much, or you just kind of rock the same one?
No, I just got the same one. Yeah, I guess it depends on like if you get the paper like texture.
Oh, okay.
Some people will get that. It's like a screen protector, but it feels like paper when you're drawing on it.
Yeah.
So it's got a little bit of grit to it, and I guess people that have that, they experience they got to switch out the nibs a lot more because it kind of grinds them down after a while.
Right. Yeah, I had to do that too, man. Like I got a bamboo, and I just kept changing the nibs out because it just my computer wasn't responding to it. But
Way back when I first started doing digital, I had a little tablet, little Intuos. I had to change out the nibs on that because it had this little grit texture. Once I got all that grit texture off from constant use of it, it became smooth. Then I was, it was pretty smooth sailing.
ooh, nice. And it's for like coloring. I noticed like with your coloring, when you're coloring yourself, you keep a lot of the line work intact. You don't go with like a bunch of different layers as far as like different shades and lights and darks and whatnot. Correct?
Right. I usually just try to do shades and then highlights. That's
Right.
pretty much it.
I think that's the way to go, man. Like that's the way I'm going now, and I got inspired by like your work, what Graham Nolan is when he's selecting his colors, and also Ollie from 656. He does coloring on a lot of stuff. Brian Six Gun Gorilla, and does a lot of the comics way stuff, and yeah, and there's also Dead Stop, and I think he's doing Blue Balls with Matty Fowler and Rich Ayala. Yeah, man, it's just I love seeing that line work, bro. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's like, are you gonna paint the book? Or are you gonna color it? You know what I mean? And when you some colors, which is cool, and I like that too. But I just think my main focus, like, I like to see the line work.
Same.
Personally,
The
so.
same way.
And again, it kind of fucks with the energy sometimes. I mean, you could be using that energy effect, but sometimes I want to see them speed lines. I want to see the fuzzy. You know what I mean? I want to see all that stuff. I want to see how the artists threw their lines or crosshatched or what they're doing. Sweet, man. Well, I guess if there's nothing else you want to talk about, I guess we can close her up right now.
Sounds good. I'm gonna go have some tacos.
Ooh, what kind of tacos you eating?
Just standard beef tacos.
You know what? We've been doing cheesy beefy tacos. It's actually like a packet, I think, by McCormick, and yeah, you don't have to add any cheese to it, but it's like a powdered cheese that's in the taco seasoning. So good. You just add ground beef to it. It's fire, man. We've been doing that though. I definitely recommend that. But okay, we got one more. Donald, your coloring is great. Will you be coloring your own project going forward, i.e., Jaegerbomb?
Yep, I'm doing all the coloring on Jaegerbomb. Plan to do all the coloring on Johnny B. Bad and No Cover.
That's awesome. Yeah, me and my buddy, we used to do reverse Jaeger bombs, which would be you fill up the cup with Jaeger, and then you fill the shot glass with Red Bull, and you slam it. Oh man, you get tore up real quick. You could put that on a campaign when you do it. Reverse Jaeger bomb. Yeah, man. Well, shoot, where can everybody find you right now, Donald, on all social media?
You can find me on Twitter. The handle you see on the screen is my Twitter handle. Same thing for Instagram, same handle.
Sweet. So it's pretty straightforward, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So people want to find Donald. Also, guys, go check out Brutus 1 and 2 if you haven't gotten it. You don't want to miss out on this. It's going to be a badass book. Again, Donald, thanks for coming. Thanks for being. I think you're my 12th show, 13th show. I've just been started doing this, so thanks for coming on, brother.
Thanks for having me, man.
Oh, anytime, bro. Like when you launch your next book, let's do it again if possible.
Right.
Hell yeah. Well, thanks again, folks. And as always, remember, be bold, be brave, and roll the bones to know your role. You guys have a great day.